Okay, so let's go into the next thing. Let's go into growth tools. Now this is where things get super interesting. You guys probably saw me using this as we promoted this course, and you're going to see us doing a lot of this. This is sort of a thing for my people. When we have a webinar replay page, guess what's going to be up on the page from now on? When we have anything that's set up to sell, we are going to be able to directly talk to our customers via Messenger, okay? Because they're already on Facebook. It makes it easy. So growth tools, let's go through this. So up here in the top left corner, you see something called growth tools. So here's what's so great. You can see a few things that we've been using. Now, how this works is you build something called widgets. Now this is so easy to set up and they're beautiful. How many of you saw this page over the weekend when we were selling this course and you tested out either the sidebar or you tested out the messenger button at the bottom of the page? Give me a yes if you did. Who tested all of them? Yeah. So here's the deal. These were extremely easy to set up. So, oh, here's a testimonial. Charles, can I read that? Charles, can I read that? You mind? Charles said, sidebar. That's why I bought. Now let me ask you something. Was that a powerful thing, what Charles just said? Was that a powerful, powerful thing that Charles just said, guys? Charles said, I tested the sidebar. That's why I bought. Because I get it, you know, and I see the potential. So Charles and everybody else, can I show you guys how to set that up real quick? Awesome. Let's do that. Let's do that. So what we're doing here, we get in here and we set up a new widget. And it's going to give us some options. So I'm going to call this test number 1. So it's now going to ask us, do we want to do a slide in? Do we want to do a modal? Do we want to do a page takeover? A button? A box? Landing page? Message, referral, URL. You got a lot of options. You got a lot of options here. Now, the slide in, if we were to go through that, that's what Charles said that he bought through on the page. Okay, now here's what's great. Anytime, even after you create these, you can change them. A modal is going to be something that sort of blanks out the background and flies in over the top. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, like a pop-up. Page takeover means it's going to have this nice little slide over the entire page, kind of like we do with Birdsong in our Birdsong software. So we're going to take over the entire page. Let's keep going. A button is going to create a little button that you can embed on your page. A box is going to be like something that you can embed on your page, like the sidebar of your blog. Okay, so it actually goes in like the widget areas. Is everybody following me so far? I'm just going to cover these real fast and then get in how to actually use these the right way. Cool. Landing page, they're going to give you a link that you can send everybody to. How many of you have seen me use this in action already? Who's seen me use this already? If you haven't, I'm going to show you. As we were pressing out our new show that we're going to bring back, I link people here. So when they click it, watch what happens. They built me an entire page that's out there on the web that now will connect people to my messenger, and it will have an auto response when they set it up. Now, I'll show you the auto response in just a second, okay? So right now, with this landing page or messenger referral URL, this URL just gives you a link. When I click active, it gives you a link that anybody that clicks on that link will now connect with you through Messenger. You can see I just got a message from my Facebook page. Make sense? Now you got to be careful using this one because it can surprise people and you don't want to do that, okay? You want them to know what they're getting into. So be real careful with that one and make sure you're using it in an instance like we were when you saw it here. See how we set this up? Now this is just a button that's, it says the image on ClickFunnels that we said contact me on Messenger right inside of Facebook by clicking below. You click that, that was the link, but you knew that you were going into Messenger when we did that. Now can that be abused? Absolutely. Please don't. Does everybody get all the different options of what you can use here? Does this make sense? Now there's a lot of options here. What I would say use to start is, because it's the easiest thing to sort of set up, is use your landing page. Use your landing page or use your slide in, okay? Because it's sort of like what we're used to using. So can I go ahead and, without having to build it from scratch, can I back out of here and show you some stuff we've already built? Okay. So the first thing I'm going to show you all is I'm going to show you behind the horns the opt-in. Okay, so this is just a test of sort of how we've set this up. Well, actually, that's my URL. Let me actually get into the the setup that we had here. Here's the Facebook post. So this was the Facebook post, and this is the one that was the full page. So what it is, it's a landing page. You can see that set up. The initial state shows the description. I tell them what to expect. You can set your background, you can put in an image, and you can tell it where you want to put the image. Now here's what's so great. I click into here and I can edit the text. Hey, Ben Atkins here. If you're here, you must want behind-the-scenes access to my business and life. How it works. Every Monday around 2 p.m. Eastern, you'll get a message from me on Facebook with something special you won't see anywhere else. Click below to get started. Send to Messenger. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Here's what's great. When they click the button, they're taken to this page. Go check your Facebook now. You should have a message from me. And you can edit all this. You can change the background color. I like the green. That's how it works. Now here's where things get interesting. Doesn't it make sense that when somebody goes through this, we want to deliver a very specific message based on what they just did, not some other auto response? So what we want to do is we want to tailor the message to the opt-in, and that's why I love, another reason I love ManyChat. They give you opt-in actions based on the thing you just built. So I go to opt-in actions and check this out. This is the first message you get. Welcome, first name. I'm so excited you decided to sign up. This is how you get real behind-the-scenes access to me. What's next? You click the I want in button below. I send you something cool here every Monday. Reply with questions. Want to unsubscribe? Just stop. Type stop anytime. So here's what happens. I've got one button here. They say, I want in, Ben. If they click that, I'm going to reply with a message, and I'm replying to the message here. Now, I've got them subscribing to the bot if they click that button. Okay, so I'm subscribing to the global bot so I can send them messages, just like I told you before. And the reply message is this. Boom, you're in. And now I have a little behind-the-scenes action. Click below to watch me show you behind the scenes of a video-based sales funnel and how it works. They click here, it links out. Now, was that very specific to what they opted in for? Very specific to what they opted in for. So with this setup, they're not getting a bunch of other stuff. The message that's being sent to them is specifically tailored to the way they came in. So what's so confusing about bots is, well, I set a welcome message down here. Does that mean they're getting that and this? No. They only get this stuff. So yes, if they click this, it takes them to a YouTube video. Okay? Yeah. So subscribing to the bot sets up so that they're going to be in here and they can stop to start in. Now with this, Chris, this very much mimics sort of the way that text marketing works, like where you type in stop to stop the message. That's sort of how this works. And I'll show you how all that's set up in just a second, okay? Now, does this make sense? Would you set up another message in a day or two? I'll get that in just a second, okay, Mary? Okay, so check this out. Let me show you a different one of these that I put together, okay? This weekend, I wanted an auto response that was very much tailored to the sale that we had set up, okay? So on this page, if you click this button or this button, I wanted my response to be tailored to the fact that you wanted more information on the course. Does that make sense to everybody? I didn't want a bunch of other stuff. I wanted it specifically to the course that we were selling. You're going to see me doing this a lot for future courses because we had great results. So check this out. What we did here was I set up this mobile message ads course, and this was the button at the bottom of the page. So button at the bottom of the page, if they click the button, I didn't want to add them to a sequence. I just wanted to give them a response. It says, hey, first name, I see that you had a question about the Messenger Ads course that you might like to get answered by me personally. If that's true, click the I have a question button below, and I'll get back to you ASAP. If not, at least you got to see how powerful this stuff is with this handy example. And you can click the Nope, Just Testing button. Does that make sense? Like, I knew a lot of people that clicked that button didn't have a question. They just wanted to see how it worked, right? But some people did. So here's what happens. If they clicked, I have a question, I had another response for them. I subscribed them to a bot, but I have another response. Awesome. I'm here to help. Type in your questions about Messenger Ads step by step, and I'll get you an answer in the next few hours, if not quicker. So now I said, okay, cool, you got a question. Type in that question, and I'll make sure I get you an answer. So I set them up to ask the question, but now with the ball's in their court. I've asked them, hey, give me your question. Don't wait. Give me your question now, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. So as I'm looking through on my phone, I'm not looking for auto responses. I'm not looking for my auto responses. I am looking for questions. Now, here's what's great. Do you think that I had a lot of people not ask a question after they asked this? Yeah. But do you think I had a ton of people actually ask me questions that I got to go in and be a salesperson and actually help them to see if it was a fit, the course was a fit for them? Yes. I had some people that I absolutely talked out of the big course, the advanced course. I said, no, this is not for you right now. You need the main course, or you don't need any of this. Very few people, though, do I think that this did not apply to their business. I'm going to be real honest with you. But then there was a lot of people that I said, listen, I think the advanced course is where you need to be, okay? Where you need to be. So I was able to explain how it applied to their hairdressing business, how it applied to their email marketing. That was the key. Make sense? Now, some people just said, you know what, I'm just testing. And so I replied with this message. Hey, glad I can show you how it works. I teach you how to pull this stuff off in the advanced version of Messenger Ads. Want to snag it later? You can use the button below, and I link back to the sales page, which a lot of you saw that. Now, let me ask you something. As simple as that one thing was to set up, do you think it made a difference to my bottom line, and it can make a difference to your bottom line? This is not an elaborate set of responses, but do you think we made sales because of that? Now, obviously, we're selling a course about Messenger Ads, so it's a little different than what you're doing, but how many of you, by typing in the number 1, can see at least one way that you can use this in your business right now? Awesome. Now, here's what's so cool. When I'm done with my opt-in actions, I go to Setup, I grab the link, I take that link over to ClickFunnels, and I click this image, and I type the link to the Messenger thing there. Done. Done. Now, I don't think I have to go through the sidebar and how that worked with you guys, but does that make sense? So, a lot of times, guys, I don't like to embed code on here. So, like, if I were to do this and I were to do button, they would give me a bunch of code to embed on ClickFunnels. I'd much rather just put an image on here and put the link. because that's a little easier for me to put up. If you're doing code, sometimes pages don't parse code the right way, but with a straight link, they're going to be able to do it. And that's another reason I really love this sort of setup, is you can do it just with that. Now, does that make sense to everybody before I move on? So the button image, how I got that, Bob, is I actually jumped over to Google, and I found an image, and then I cropped it down. Would you guys like that image that I cropped? And I'll pop it in the chat for you. Okay, that's the pre-cropped button that I did, and everybody give me a confirmation that you were actually able to get that button and download it. But that way you don't have to crop it, because I couldn't find another one. Give me a yes that actually went through. And Ashton, I'll send you that link so we can put it underneath this video later. Okay, perfect. Good. Good. So from a growth tools perspective, the core thing that I want you guys to understand is each time you create one of these different opt-ins, that you can create an auto response that is custom fit to that opt-in. Does everybody get that? Give me a yes, so. And that's the right way to do it. That's the right way to do it. Not a bunch of unrelated auto responses, but one that fits that. And that's the core behind this thing. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so that said, we'll take questions more on that at the end, but can we go through broadcast? And I'm going to do broadcast, and then I'm going to sequences, okay? Cool.